Good evening, everyone. Glad to see each and every one of you here. Thank you for taking time out of your Monday evening to join us today. And we've got an amazing program lined up for you if this is the first time that you are tuning in. So it's my pleasure to introduce the speaker for tonight. Okay, and of course tonight is the Live Young youth section of our Live Young series of talk. We have got May, who chairs, is in charge of the other segment, which is next week. Tune in if you want to find out how to make your skin glow like it's in your 20s. Okay, and today we've got a really special guest to share with you the secrets of youth tonight. Okay, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Jeff, okay, tonight, who will be our sharer, okay? And Jeff, so a bit of background about Jeff. Jeff used to own 3 businesses, which he sold. He retired, and then he joined me in this new skin journey where he's building it as a business leader now. And Jeff is not only, does he have an illustrious career record, but strangely enough, after he's retired, I met him on the highest peak on Africa, Mount Kilimanjaro. Okay, and this man stuns me by how fit he is. Now he's about double my age, but he's fitter than me. He's strong. I mean, he's really, really quite astounding. Youthful inside and out. So without further ado, I'd like to hand the time over to Jeff.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks so much. So glad that everyone could make it, and thanks for this very glowing story about me, Chris. But I want to tell you that I really am enjoying my life. I'm 62, but I have a great life. And I must say that I believe that I'm living life in all its abundance. Okay. Anyway, I have a great family life, wonderful friends. I love the business that I'm doing and the people that I get to meet as a result of it. I also go some mission trips, as you can see. I wanted to show you this little video where you saw me just fall off the rock wall, but the best thing about it was that I was perfectly fine, okay? And I say this because my health was not always very good. As I over the years, I always suffered from gastric, asthma, gout. I had joint problems, knee problems. I had difficulty with golf. I had elbow problems. It was always terrible. And then you can see here, as I show you, these are my blood test results from 2006. You can see I failed quite a lot of things, right? Okay, but the wonderful thing is that, when I started on taking the supplements, I've always been very fit. I've always been very outgoing. But when I started taking supplements, you can see now all my numbers went into the black, right? And I don't suffer at all from gastric anymore. I don't know how. It was so bad. Maybe just 3 years ago, or maybe 4 years ago, I was really just throwing up, very bad gastric. Now I'm perfectly okay. The asthma is so under control. I am not on steroids anymore. I used to be on steroids, and then my joint problems, zero. I'm running, I don't know, I'm running maybe 25 clicks a week, and I don't have any gout. Okay, so much so that I want to show you this little video on the right, and that was that in 2019, I decided to change my life around by throwing away all my medicines. I wanted this to be a New Year's revolution. and I wanted to show you what's been happening. Yesterday, I decided to pack up a lot of the meds that have been in my cupboard, and I've been keeping it because, you know, and I told you I packed up so much stuff from my cupboards, right? Some of it is, well, you know, some of it is brand new actually, but I don't need this anymore. You know, and I used to even pack all my stuff nicely, you know. I just want some witnesses even as I get rid of everything. And I want to tell you that my drawer, my medicine cabinet has been empty since then. Okay, and that's why I'm so thrilled to share with you about Live Young tonight. Okay, you know, the great news is that in Singapore, we Singaporeans, we have the longest life expectancy in the world as a country. It's amazing. It's 84.79 years, right? But gotta tell you, although we may live long, we may not always live well, because Singaporeans suffer 10 years of poor health before death. So it's, I don't know about you, but you know, I don't really like the thought of the unhealthy years, right? And if you're a woman, I gotta tell you, it's a bit sobering, because I've just circled those two numbers. You see that although Singaporeans suffer 10 years of poor health before death, you can see that the guys don't live as long as the ladies, but the guys maybe have 9 years of poor health, right? The ladies have about 12 years of poor health. So, you know, health is such an important aspect, because the biggest problem of growing old is that we don't have the health to enjoy the life, right? I mean, here we are having such a great long life, but the quality is important. Okay, and of course, if you don't have the energy to enjoy the family and friends and activities, then you know the lifestyle also has a problem with the quality, right? We tend to become a burden to loved ones, and you know, the money goes to the doctor's bills. And of course, there's this last question: enough money or not? Okay, so I hope that you would agree with me that what we want is, we don't want to have that you know, that top bar, which is you know, 10 years of poor health, but we want to have it all to be green, right? We want to have nice health throughout the 84 years, 84 and a half years. And then because we have such good health, maybe a few more years than 84 and a half. Okay. But the crucial thing I want to show you is this word, okay? Youth span. Youth span. You may not hear much about youth span, but I can assure you it's getting to be more and more important a concept. Because nowadays, we're not so concerned about how long we live, but how many good years we can have. So tonight, I've entitled this sharing about adding life to your years. Okay, how we can increase our youth span, how we can increase our vitality. And the way that I'm going to share about it is we're going to talk about the science of it. Because as you've heard from Chris, myself, we subscribe to New Skin, right? And New Skin is a company that is very much, it's a very innovative company on anti-aging science. Okay, if you look on the left, by 2017, okay, New Skin had something like 29 patents. Okay, they had done 36 oral presentations. These are scientific presentations, you know, and they had done like 73 scientific posters. They had published 19 scientific articles and received like 22 awards. Okay, but in the 3 years following that, by 2020, you can see here that they had increased the number of patents from 29 to 36, and the awards that they received from the scientific community increased from 22 to 69. So it's all about science. I want to assure you that tonight we're just going to be talking about science, and I want to invite you to ask the questions later, okay? Now, neither Chris nor I are scientists, so we might not be able to give you all the answers, but we should be able to answer most of the normal common questions. So the thing that was so critical in my finding youth again and my finding this health again was this anti-aging duo, and it's Y-span and R-square. I'm just going to tell you about these two, okay? That's all we're going to talk about tonight. Just going to talk about R-square and Y-span, and also talk about some of the people who have benefited from it, myself being one of them, okay? So Y-span promotes the youth span. That's why it's called Y-span. Okay? The years that we can enjoy our life being active, energetic, and healthy, right? You saw that earlier. And how does it work? It modulates our aging defense mechanisms, resulting in systemic youth preservation benefits. Okay, and it runs on something we call gene expression insights, which I will explain a little bit in a while. Okay, it's of course a proprietary blend of natural ingredients. So it's natural ingredients, but with a lot of science behind it. And as a result of that, there's testing, substantiation, and proofing of all of this. And then, of course, there's specifications and everything. All right. So what is in the bottle of Y-span? Y-span is a combination of 12 anti-aging superheroes. Okay. Among them are vitamin D6, okay, omega-3 oil, citrus bioflavonoid, purple corn, okay, from Peru, alpha lipoic acid, okay, quercetin. Now, if you are into health, you will know all of these will be very familiar names. But what do? They help the body to preserve itself against high blood pressure, cholesterol, okay, diabetes, preserve brain function, liver health, okay, prevent inflammation, which is very important, and a lot of it has anti-cancer elements. Okay, now 6 more items to tell you about: D-limonene, rosemary leaf extract, resveratrol, which is from red wine, coenzyme Q10, very important for heart health, for brain health, right? Lycopene, very important for guys, especially with for prostate health, but it's also important for the immune system, inflammation, and astaxanthin, very important for eye health, okay? Skin health, okay? Fights against fatigue. So that's it, 12 anti-aging superheroes in one bottle. So it's really a lot of goodness in the bottle. But one more point I want to tell you about is that they work together. Okay, they work together. There's a synergy of these 12 anti-aging superheroes working together, like the Avengers, you know. And how they work is that this blend helps influence our youth gene clusters. Okay, so now I'm going to explain to you about gene expression science, okay? I'm going to watch my time and make sure this is done in 3 minutes. All right, what's gene expression? Well, I want to tell you that in our body, in all our cells, we have 23 pairs of chromosomes. In these 23 pairs of chromosomes, we have something like 2,000 genes. Now, these code all the proteins in our body, okay? But you know, not all of these genes are switched on, right? And from this gene chip that you see on the left, New Skin was able to determine which genes were active and which were not. And they discovered that genes that were kind of related to age, they have one set of, they may be, a certain set may be active when we're younger, and then they become inactive as we get older. All right, so you can see that here, the gene expression profile, right? Where red is high expression. What does it mean? Okay, if I give you a very simple example, it's the bees in a hive. You know, the queen bee lays all the eggs. And so how do you get a queen? How do you get a worker? How do you get a drone? All laid by eggs. They're all eggs laid by the queen. The queen does not lay queen eggs and drone eggs. Okay, they don't do that. So how can the queen can lay 2,000 eggs a day, 3 to 5 times larger than a worker bee, and has a lifespan that's 20 times longer? The key is actually what the queen is fed. The queen is fed exclusively on royal jelly. Okay, and so the diet changes the expression. That's what makes her a queen and keeps her in the way that she is. Now, this science is something that extends to humans, as you saw from the first slide earlier. Okay, take a look at this pair of identical twins. They not just vary in weight. Well, you can see that it's huge weight difference, but you can see obviously that there's something wrong with the twin on the right, right? Well, she can't go around and say, yeah, I just have bad genes, like the rest of us. I just have bad genes. Why? Because her sister looks like the picture of health, right? So, and that's the same. We found another set of twins who does our business. The one on the right does our business and takes our products. Look at the difference between the two of them. The twins also, okay? So it really has to do with these these youth gene clusters, and how they which genes are switched on and which are not. Okay, so for example, you see that there are 52 genes related to vitality. Okay, and when they came up with different ingredients and in different ingredient blends, you can see here that ingredient blend 4 causes the body to express genes that were more were closer to when the person was younger. Okay, so this is my little story of Y-span. So Y-span has got all these Y-span has got all these age defense, supports the age defense mechanisms of the body. All right, because like your joints, skin, nerves, heart, blood, right? And others, okay? And and R square is the pairing with Y-span, okay? And R square has to do with cellular energy. And of course, when you have cellular energy, you need to have purifications, just like when you have a high powered car engine. It needs to have a good exhaust system, otherwise it won't work well. Okay, just want to, for the next 3 minutes, let you watch this video by Discovery Channel. They are very scientific based documentary channel. Well, they featured New Skin and our anti-aging science when R square was being developed. Okay, so let's listen to Discovery Channel. Okay, so this is the product. R square. You can see it's made of Cordyceps sinensis, but also ginseng and pomegranate. Okay, and it is really it addresses the source of aging, and is useful for physical endurance, mental acuity, sexual health. It's totally natural, and yet it is totally scientific based on our 6S quality system. Okay, it is matched with R square night, right? And R square night is really for detox, cellular cleansing and purification. Okay, so it improves your sleep. It's also totally natural, and it promotes health, and this pair promotes energy and vitality. Okay, what would the result of that be? I wanted to show you some laboratory mice. Okay. It's pretty exciting, isn't it? They are the equivalent of 96 years of age. I really love to be active like this when I'm 96. Okay. And 90% of consumers who take R square feel more energy and less fatigue. But the wonderful thing is that when the cells have more energy, it supports the the body's ability to neutralize and remove cellular waste and toxic byproducts. So you don't suffer from all of that. Okay. And because of this, it protects and fortifies the cells against damage from external toxins, and the cells are able to perform their normal cellular functions. So, sometimes we have all these illnesses because sometimes the cells just stop working in the way that they should be working. We think of it as, oh, it's just a factor of age. But wouldn't it be wonderful if the cells could behave like they were able to when we were 20 or 30? So I'm going to give you some examples of some people who have taken this duo of product, okay, and how they were age locked. The first is these two ladies. What do you think is their age difference? Okay. Put it into a chat, put it into the chat and tell me, what do you think is the difference in age between these two ladies? 10 years, okay, 20 years. All right. Any other guesses? 25 years. Okay. Well, you might be surprised to find out that they're the same age. Okay. They were childhood friends. Okay. But of course, Yuki, who's on the left, has been taking New Skin products for over 20 years. And you can really see the difference, right? Okay. John is another example. Okay. He's 81 years of age. He was 81 years of age, but at 80, he celebrated his 80th birthday by completing the first marathon in his life. 42 kilometers. I'm not sure how much he ran before that, but to ramp up to do 42. Some of us who are 50, we think we cannot do it. This guy did it at 80. Okay, but of course you can see from the write-up that he did have issues before he went on R square widespan. It's the usual old person issues like frequent flu bouts, prostate enlargement, slow recovery from physical exercise, failing memory, etc. Right? And this gentleman, okay, his wife writes that he suffered from urinary incontinence, dementia, and was suffering from the effects of a partial stroke. Okay, so he was wheelchair bound. But at 74, he took R-square for 3 days and he could stand. After 1 week, he could walk. It's stories like this that has caused Jay, whose husband's a doctor, to take R-square widespan. So it has helped her. She says it has helped her with mental clarity and as she went through menopause. Okay, she gave it to her mom, who's 85, and her mom got off most of her medication. Okay, like hypertensive medication, cholesterol medicine. And of course, it's for a multi-generation family. She gave it to her son as well. I love to, if you hang around after this, Chris can tell you about how he takes it at 33 years old. He takes R-square widespan. Okay, but this young man in his 20s, he found that it boosted his stamina for rock climbing. Okay? And this is the 85-year-old mother swimming. James has a story of very quick recovery. As you can see here, he's a huge outdoorsman, okay, 65, and then he needed a total hip replacement, Well, he recovered so quickly after his surgery that the people who create the replacement hip interviewed him, and this is their interview.
My recovery was surprisingly fast. I went off morphine after the first day, and I didn't have any pain of that. We were doing physiotherapy. I was moving my legs. The very next day, I could walk without a stick after 6 days. I was driving on my 7th day, and I began to take longer walks with the dog. And on my second month, after 60 days, I actually went back to rock climbing, and I went back to resume climbing stairs. I remember we did several sets of 34 stories in an HDB block. That's after 2 months.
Isn't that amazing? Well, I have one more story, and that is my own sister. Okay, at 49, she was diagnosed with arthritis. She became increasingly immobile. Okay, she had knee braces on both knees, and she often walked around with 2 walking sticks. Okay, well, she went on R-square widespan. Her condition improved so much that I haven't seen her use her knee braces or walking sticks in something like 3 years. And this is a video that I shot of her at the start of 2020. Okay.
Morning exercises.
Isn't that amazing? My friend Bernard actually has some unintended side benefits. His hair started to become black again. Although he had white hair from the age of 14. So it was just a bonus for him. Okay, so age locking your body is all about, well, aging slowly, maybe even reversing your aging, as even I have experienced. Okay, you get to enjoy youthful health for longer. You get to enjoy greater vitality every day. Okay, you have more robust health and immunity, and you recover more quickly. So with this knowledge, this information, this sharing, just want to open up for you to ask questions. But one thing I want to stress and urge you to do, and that is, after you've asked your questions or you're convinced already, the next thing and the most important thing is to start. Okay, start today.